In many ways, the Adam Project feels like Deadpool 2, and I can't describe it unless you watch the movie. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of The Adam Project, the latest Netflix film directed by Shawn Levy, starring Ryan Reynolds, Mark Ruffalo, and more. A time-traveling pilot teams up with his younger self and his late father to come to terms with his past while saving the future. So before I give you guys my thoughts on this movie, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts or expectations for The Adam Project if you have not yet seen it, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future reviews like this one. So I was completely oblivious about this movie going in. All I'd seen was the poster, and I knew that Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo were in the movie. Two pretty big stars, I would say. They're both in Marvel projects, so of course I had somewhat moderate expectations. And overall, I enjoyed the movie, but at the same time, I didn't. But I'll say the highlights of this movie were definitely the charisma from Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he can carry just about any movie he's in. His screen presence is felt here. I mean, any scene he's not in feels weaker than the others. Also, I like the father-son dynamic this film has to offer because it really hit in the feels. And notably, later in the third act, there are moments that really pull on your heartstrings. One scene in particular, the way it was edited, it almost brought tears to my eyes, honestly. There's a little bit of like a brotherhood dynamic as well, and I have an older brother, so I could really resonate with certain aspects of this film. It definitely nailed the family adventure vibe, and I think for the most part, people will find entertainment value with this movie. Obviously, the goal of this movie, it's only an hour and 45 minutes, is to entertain the audience, and for the most part, it works, especially when it's focusing on the family aspects regarding one character and his wife, regarding getting back to a family, and I like how it deals with its rules of time travel because sometimes they can be confusing in films. Obviously, Avengers Endgame has its own way of handling it. Back to the Future, Terminator. This has its own unique way of handling time travel as well, but any time travel movie is going to have its fair share of messes, whether that is the way it handles time travel or just the plot in general, and to me, I thought the overall plot of this movie was fairly weak because, like I mentioned, the actual family drama aspects of the film is where it's a heavy hitter, but when you take that out of the way, you've got a very generic plotline regarding these people who want to stop Ryan Reynolds' character from doing what his mission in the film is, which I won't say because I don't want to spoil the movie for you guys. This movie features arguably the worst use of CGI I've ever seen, and that is with the villain character. She sees herself years younger. It's a bizarre decision because they de-aged her. Whenever this younger version of the character would be moving around, her face would like move as well. It looked like something almost that was crafted on like Adobe After Effects, not something that would be in like a high big budget movie. And the same thing goes for a lot of the visual shots in this film where it kind of removed me. I feel like this movie could have benefited from a larger budget. It sort of removed me from the movie. I couldn't take the villainous threat seriously, especially when there's two villains and one of them looks like a cartoon. And at the end of the day, as much as I wanted to buy into the story, I felt like the payoff wasn't really worth it by the end of the movie because you go on this journey in a time travel film and you can obviously kind of piece together how an arc in a movie like that should play out where there are certain changes that happen for the better. By the time we got to the end and the objective of this movie was completed, it felt like time played out the same way it would have had that objective not been completed. So to me, it almost felt like this whole movie was a waste in a way. Yes, it's got its fun adventure, vibes, and the action sequences are pretty cool, especially the way they are matched with the soundtrack. I mean, if you like classic rock, the soundtrack's for you. It's got some bangers in there, and the way it was edited together with this one action scene in particular, the first major one, I would say, outside of Adam's house. Loved that scene so much. But that's not enough to really save the movie from having a very watered down and lackluster plot that doesn't really provide any value, except for a few moments that really pull on your heartstrings with Mark Ruffalo, Ryan Reynolds, and the young boy Adam. All of the other moments in the film kind of feel throwaway. Again, the visual effects make it feel cheaper than it actually is, and I hate to pinpoint something like that because I understand it's hard to get a big budget, especially for a Netflix movie, but it just didn't really work for me. Overall, it is fairly predictable as well. Even if, you went in completely blind like I did, the way it's written, you can kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together before they happen, which is never really something you want to happen in a movie like this. Shawn Levy, of course, directs the movie, and I think he does a good job of bringing the family vibe. He's a producer on Stranger Things, so he definitely has experience with the coming-of-age feel-good vibes, and I think that's what this movie embodies. At its core, it's a coming-of-age story about a boy seeing himself older and the fatherhood relationship. So it's got the emotions for sure. It's got the moments that might make you tear up a little bit. It's fairly funny, and it's got enough action-adventure to keep you interested, but there's not much else beside that. There's really nothing special to the Adam Project. I like the idea. It's definitely a heartfelt coming-of-age flick, but at the end of the day, there's not a lot of substance, and it's almost forgettable. Like, I watched the movie a few hours ago, and it's just kind of escaped my mind already. That's never a good thing with a movie like this. I think it could have been significantly better. I love the concept, but at the end of the day, it's just a fine movie. So I'm gonna give The Adam Project 3 out of 5 stars. But that's gonna do it for my review of The Adam Project. Have you guys seen this movie? If so, let me know down below. What are your expectations? I love Ryan Reynolds, so let me know your favorite Ryan Reynolds performance. And make sure to hit that like button, and again, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future movie reviews like this one. I'll have more videos this weekend talking about Pixar because we get a new Pixar film in Turning Red. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time. I'll see you guys later.